have a love of history and heritage, Britain's people and culture, with a particular interest in the regions. I live in central London, within a walk of the Thames, both Tate's, the National Portrait Gallery and the National Gallery. It can be a little brash and very noisy, and sometimes I long for parts of Britain that have more to be discovered, with interesting stories to tell, and that people elsewhere would find interesting. This is what attracted me to Bassetlaw Museum. The museum, housed in its beautifully proportioned building, distills local stories, both historic and current, including topical stories around energy and farming, as well as stories from the past, such as that of the Pilgrims and autochrome photography. I enjoyed working with themes as diverse as film noir, mining, and royal charters. I wanted to respond to the collection through drawing and painting, and I'm delighted to exhibit the work here. I included children in the work, which is unusual for me. This was because of the stories I heard about growing up on a local farm. And also, of course, because of the toy and school collection. I am also always drawn to beautiful architecture and love working with such a wonderfully proportioned house, which was very, very beautiful. I was also lucky enough to access local stories through the museum community, which made my work so much more interesting. There is a current of intellectual and cultural underpinning to my work. Most of my time, when I'm not drawing, it's spent researching, attending seminars and lectures across London. This continuous contemporaneous input underpins my work with collections and communities, a bit like scaffolding. I'm fascinated by the interplay between time, geography, and the transportation of new ideas as they travel around the country. When I research a community or museum collection, I immerse myself as deeply as I can. Then I spend most of my time drawing and painting, with as little interruption as I can get away with. Other, of course, than the voices of the people I'm interested in, speaking to me through recordings or through memory, with the odd photograph as a visual note. The project initially was challenging because I knew we had size constraints. I decided I needed to create very, very small works, so I went off to Christie's, where I was exhibiting myself that month, to see what they were doing. And I initially looked at illuminated manuscripts. I made a fresh green wreath while I was there and drank lots of coffee. But in the end, I found that the idea of tiny drawings for Bassetlaw didn't quite work. So I had to scale up the works. The other idea I played with was using the autochrome aesthetic, which is very beautiful, and replicating it in oil paint, but the work didn't do the photography justice, so that was parked too. I settled on drawing and painting on wood. When I'm making the work, I'm constantly weighing up how to balance composition, line and tone to create meaning. And I worked mainly on this cradled beechwood as it's so robust and beautiful with a lovely surface. One of my aims as I work is to transport the people I'm drawing and painting to other parts of Britain by talking about the project to other audiences. However, the main aim is to amplify stories and add value to the collection I'm working with. I hope you enjoy the work.